Hello, Mississippi, and welcome to another edition of The Issues, where we deal with the pertinent and relevant facts and leave no stone unturned. I'm Bishop Ronnie Crudup. Welcome once again to this program. Really do appreciate you tuning us back in. Thanks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for talking this program up to other people. We appreciate you. Listen, we've got a great program. In fact, we're back, and I've got the Honorable Sheriff Tyrone Lewis back with us. Sheriff, welcome back.
I was glad to be back again.
Well, glad to have you here. We also got with us Mr. Surinder Singh. Mr. Singh, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
In fact, this is part 2 of a program. We're having a discussion about the Indian community here in this session, and we did a part 1, and it was so much to talk about, so many fascinating things. We decided to do a second part because just so much, and we're trying to speak to some of these myths and other things that people have here. And Sheriff, I want to commend you because, Mr. Singh is here because you did some outreach.
Right.
And you talked to me about him and about, we were interested in knowing about this community, and you've had a track record. He's here because you've done apparently what other politicians didn't do. You've reached out to this community.
That's right. I saw the disconnect. I saw the need, and I understood after I made the relationship with the community, the different communities, and thought it was a need to start bringing everybody to the table, and so everybody can be represented. And this is just one fashion and one facet of the community that we're dealing with, that we're trying to get people to understand and bridge that gap that's between us.
And as you said early in part 1 of this, you don't want to be the sheriff just for the black folks or just for the white folks, but you want to be the sheriff for everybody.
We're the sheriff for everybody.
So everybody, Asians, right. Indians, whatever you are, Hispanics, you're the sheriff for everybody.
We're the sheriff for everybody. Everybody has a seat at the table. Everybody has a concern that needs to be addressed.
Well, good. Now, in part 1, we talked about the fact that, of course, the Singhs are Sikhs. The turban is a part of their religion, also the beard and things such as this, and that you own 90 stores, that your confederation of folks own 90 convenience stores here in the city of Jackson, but also that Sikhs are doctors and lawyers and salespeople, all of these things, and so your community is very, very diverse, and that in the Indian community there are the Patels who pretty much run the motels and some of those kind of things, restaurants. Right. And then there are the Singhs who, of course, are in the convenience store business here in town, as well as a few other. They do some small restaurants, I think, right. as well. But that's kind of the difference. The Patels are also Hindus, pretty much. The Singhs would be Sikhs. Now, I got 3 questions particularly related to some of the things that from the last time around. Then I want to get into this whole issue of crime because crime is real big here. We started talking about this fact that one of the reasons you were very concerned about this is the economic development part of this, and that they've got 90 stores, and if they weren't there, some of those buildings would be blighted, destroyed, and such as that. Does your community, Mr. Singh, are you involved in philanthropy? Do you, besides from, and we appreciate the fact of having a store and having some place that our folks can go, but do you give back to the community? Do you give back to the African-American community, or is simply we got a store there?
No, we do give back. Like I said, every dollar earned, 1/10 supposed to go is not ours, is God.
Okay.
So 1/10 every Sikh or every human being actually supposed to donate. And our base, Sikh base, is to earn properly,
okay,
and share with the needy and pray.
Okay.
Those are the 3 basic rules in our religion.
Okay.
And we do share, but let's say if we donate those money, 1/10, why would I go and say, I gave this one? This is not mine to the first place.
Okay.
So that's why we do not advertise that we give this, we give that. And
but you're giving back to the community.
We do give back, and Mr. Lewis, he witnessed many times.
Okay.
And we do, but we do not advertise.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, we got to go to a break, and we're going to come back because we got a lot more to talk about. So if you'll stay with us, we'll be right back. All right, we're back. I've got Sheriff Tyrone Lewis with us and also Mr. Surinder Singh, who's here representing the Sikh community here in the town, and particularly their stores, their 90 stores, their convenience stores that they have here in the community. It's been a fascinating conversation as a part of that. You ended the last segment with something that there are 3 tenets of your religion. I think one was earn, what was it?
Earn honestly.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Share with the needy.
Okay, share with the needy.
And pray.
And pray. There's a lot of church folks could benefit from that. Okay. Earn honestly. Yeah. Share with the needy and pray. I mean, that's universal. Yeah. Okay, that's universal and good. And we were talking about the fact, of course, that you do philanthropy, you give back, but you mentioned something about them that probably has kind of hurt them as a part of the philanthropy.
It does, because they're so humble about what they do, and they don't consider it bragging rights. I think it tends to hurt them by isolating themselves from letting the community know that they do give back. I've been on several trips with them where they have given back to the community, some that I've been involved with. Every holiday they're doing something at a nursing home. Where they're feeding them or either taking them some clothing or some socks. And they pick out a park every year and do feed the homeless. But they don't like to advertise it. Like I said, they do it from the heart, and it's just something that they're accustomed to doing and not bragging about it.
Wow. Well, real good. Well, maybe we'll get together and help them then sponsor some Little League baseball teams and other things like that that'll help.
That's right.
And do 2 things. Does your community, are you Republican or Democrat? I mean,
but that's our individual choice.
Okay.
As a community, we do not sponsor any party.
Okay.
As a person, yes, our own choice. We can whoever we want to.
And so, just like everybody else, there may be some folks who are Democratic and some folks who are Republican.
That's correct.
As a part of it, your community seems to have a good relationship with Sheriff Lewis. How did that come about?
That come out because he respects us as a human being. And he was willing to spend time with us, explain to us. He didn't have an ego that he was a police chief. He don't have to go and talk to people. And he didn't say that, come to my office, make an appointment and all that. He came over there personally. Okay.
And he did this when he was actually the interim chief, police chief, before he became sheriff.
Middle of the night incident happened, and he went there in person. If something happened, he went there in person, talked to the people. It's not that he caught all those criminals,
okay,
but at least just talking to the people, explaining them how the law works,
right,
and that heals a lot of grudges.
Wow. So it really sounds like that before Tyrone Lewis, you didn't have a lot of communication and dialogue with people in the police department in a positive way.
I don't want to put anybody down, but you could see the difference.
Okay.
And I've been involved the last 10 years. And from the sheriff department, you could see in the evening where all those cars come from.
Okay.
Where were they before? They were not in Jackson.
Okay.
Before, you could hardly see any sheriff cars. He didn't put any cars from from his budget. They were already there.
Okay.
But they were not in Jackson.
Okay.
So I'm not going to say where they were and all that, but this is actually the Hinds County. It's a prayer answered that we have Mr. Lewis as a sheriff. I'm not saying because he's sitting here. I'm saying because that is truth.
Okay.
And he is bringing all those promises as a community person, as a convenience store owner. Why we supported him? Because the crime. Even though Jackson Police is responsible to provide the security for the citizens.
Yes.
But there's also sheriff department there to help them. If Jackson police need help, there should be sheriff department available to help them.
Okay.
And if they cooperate each other, and there's no way that you cannot control the crime.
And so you feel like you've gotten a lot of cooperation then from the sheriff when he was the chief, interim chief, as well as certainly now as a chief, as a part of that then.
And we supported his agenda.
Okay.
Even though personally, yes, he's my friend, and he's our community person. When he was elected, people, they were saying he was the first black sheriff. And I was saying, I said, no, he's not first black sheriff. He's one of us. Because he's a people person.
He's a man of color, all right.
He's a people person.
He's a people person, all right.
And we think that we have somebody, our own, in this position, so we can approach to him.
Good.
In need.
Good. Well, kudos to you, Sheriff, in a sense, for that, and I think that's the way that it ought to be as a part of that and the agenda, and particularly when you're serving people, then they appreciate it. Let me ask you too before we go to a break, because too another one of those perceptions, Mr. Singh. A lot of folks feel like that the Indian community comes into a community, you buy a 7-Eleven, a Shell, a Texaco, or any of those kind of things, and pretty soon, next thing we know, the sign's been taken off, and that and then with that the quality goes down.
No, that's not true. Actually, we do buy those properties because they are there. Mm-hmm. They were there when they needed them. When they think that they got their money, they abandon those properties or they sell those properties. And we are there to continue for the public.
Okay.
And why we change the names? Because we cannot afford to paying all those high price fees.
Right, for that.
And then we can,
Right. Hey, we got to go to a break here, but we've got a lot more to talk about, particularly in crime. Viewers, stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. I've got Mr. Surinder Singh and our sheriff with us, Sheriff Tyrone Lewis with us, having a fascinating discussion here. Let's get into some nitty-gritty. Crime. I mean, the Indian community here, particularly convenience stores, you've had more than your share of crime. You've had people shot, killed, just all kind of stuff as a part of that. Sheriff, I mean, is there a target on these folks' back? What's going on? What's your analysis of this?
I think what has happened was a communications barrier, as well as a language barrier, and customs as well. The Indian community, before we started trying to educate them, as well as them educate us, came in with customs that our community were not educated about, as well as the store owners and the clerks were not educated about our customs and our laws. We took our time to start having meetings to educate them about what the laws were here, in particular the city of Jackson when it comes to ordinances and the state statutes and things of that nature. And once they grasped the concept of it, then they started to make the change, as well as we started to try to educate the community through neighborhood association meetings on why we should work with them to support them, number one, for the tax base, as well as to create a relationship with them to understand that they have these stores in the community, so let's form a relationship with them to get them to understand us as well as us to understand them. That way we can salvage a tax base where we won't have vacant buildings to create a problem or an atmosphere for crime.
Okay. Mr. Singh, once again, this whole issue of crime, with all the crime that you've had in your stores, do you feel like you've been singled out, or do you feel like that it's because people don't care about you because you're Indian? I mean, or it's just crime, it just happens. What do you think as part of it?
It is just a crime, because why we feel, all people feel that we are targeted because majority of the stores are owned by Indians.
Okay.
So that's why when it comes to how many Indians own the store and how many Indians got targeted, the crime is there. The crime will affect, doesn't matter you're Indian or black or white, it will affect everybody. The main thing is the criminals, they feel that there is no punishment for them.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what main thing to be concerned about. Not that, they're singling out Indian or anybody else. They see where the easy target is. And that's why you see all the protection in the stores,
The glass.
in the glass.
And that's something people talk about is the thick bulletproof glass. But that's a reaction, I would suspect, to people getting shot.
That's correct, because let's say the clerk is there to serve the people. He's not worried about who's coming. He thinks everybody coming there as a customer. He got to provide the service to them. He asks them what they need. He eye contact them that, they may be looking for something. They don't see anything. So he asks them, may I help you? What you need, what you're looking for?
Right.
And doing that one, if he's has bulletproof glass there, at least he feel a little bit secure.
Right.
If somebody want to come and do harm, they can do it.
Right.
There's
But
no way, you can
Has the
protect.
glass cut down on the number of crimes? Has there a study been done on that in terms of that? Has that diminished some of this crime, or is too early to tell?
It's too early to tell. I don't think a proper assessment has been done on that to give a correct answer to that. But I know that they use it as a sense of security.
Right.
But there goes again where we have to go in and communicate with them on a proper assessment to determine if that's what they really need.
Has anybody been shot since you put glass up in a store? Any of those folks, or any of those folks been robbed
Yes.
since the glass? It has been.
Yes.
Okay. What were they outside of from the back, or something else happened as a part of that?
They were outside. And,
Okay.
like I said,
The person-
we are there
yeah, right.
to serve them.
Right. Okay. One of the things is quite evident. A lot of your stores are in inner city Jackson. Okay. You're in the hood, as we would say.
We're in high crime areas.
Yeah, and you're in high crime areas, and people know that. And so, I mean, the truth is, a lot of folks who would be around there are people who are going to try to take advantage of that. Let me ask you this question. The city of Jackson just did away with kind of the Stokes law, I guess, a rule, which said that you had to have a security guard in that store. Was that something you were supporting, or you weren't supporting that law?
No, I mean, if there's something, my duty to do it. If I say, no, this need to be done, but I want you to do it.
Right.
That's what it was. The security, the police department is there to provide security for the citizen of Jackson.
Okay.
And that's their responsibility to provide the security.
Right. Well, let me ask you this before we go to a break here. I know you've already said that you're really thankful for the support you're getting from Sheriff Lewis. Do you feel like you're getting good support from Jackson Police Department now?
We are getting support, but I think I openly saying more than even the police department that they need help.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right.
They
So-
need help, and people should help them. In the city of Jackson, there's a bickering between each other. And when they say they're going to fight the crime,
Right.
basically nobody wants to fight the crime.
Okay.
They just want to re-elect, that's all.
Well, that's a good point to take a break on. And, hey, viewers, we'll be right back. All right, we're back. I've got Mr. Surinder Singh and our Sheriff Tyrone Lewis with us, and we've been, of course, talking about the Indian community and misconceptions and all these things, what people do as a part of this. And we've been really particular now identifying this whole issue of crime. And one of the points that, Mr. Singh, you made to me kind of off camera here was the fact that you're a little frustrated because when people come in the store and they do something, you take their tag numbers, and which is what you do because you can't stop them or anything like that, and you report that to JPD and nothing happens.
Nothing happened.
Okay.
They don't even bother to go after and find out. The first question they will ask you, how you know if the same person driving?
Well, of course, that's not yours. No, all you know is that tag number on that car. That car was in a commission of crime.
Yeah, that tag was issued for identification for that car.
Okay.
If that is not there, where is the owner? That
Right.
owner should know if that tag is stolen or that car is lost or not.
Right.
Otherwise, the person is responsible.
Yeah, very true, because if it's not stolen, then it's somebody, a family member, a friend, then that was using that car as a part of this. As we come to the close of this program, I want to do a couple of things. And Mr. Singh, because this has been a program about really kind of dealing with the Indian community and dealing with misperception, I want to give you an opportunity to just speak to our audience here, kind of what's on your heart. So would you just take a minute just to share with our audience kind of what's on your heart in terms of the Indian community?
I just want to say that thank you for, Bishop, that you give me opportunity to address with the public. We are here as a human being. We all here for the same purpose, work hard and make honest living and live as a family. And the atmosphere we want to create in our store is when you come in the store, you feel like you are going to your store. And we want to be also consider that you are coming here, sharing with us. Like I have many customers, they come here, they share with us their personal lives. Mm-hmm. We share with them. That gives you a feeling that you're a human being.
Yes.
We are there to serve you. You come here, you know that when you buy something, you got to pay. Mm-hmm. And if we have mutual respect, the atmosphere will be better, calm, and of course there will be elements, they will come and try to derail that relationship, and we got to curtail those elements together. We want to help the law enforcement, and at the same time, law enforcement, I want them to come in and expect that, we are telling them they're supposed to do their job, not just to wash off. And that will send the message to the criminal that if they get caught, they will be punished.
Absolutely.
And the families, they will feel comfortable to go into the stores in the evening and doing the shopping, and will be a whole lot better atmosphere.
Yeah, well, very good, because that's what we all want as a part of it. Sheriff, you brought Mr. Singh here. You've talked about this. Give me your comments here before we close out.
Well, Bishop, in order for this city and this county to survive economic development or to increase our tax base, we have to get our house in order. In order for that to happen, we have to stabilize the tax base that we have.
Yes.
And as the highest ranking law enforcement officer in the county, that's what I'm doing, extending the olive branch to each one of these entities to bring them to the table to see what we need to do to get our house in order and to stabilize the tax base. And once we can do that and stabilize the tax base that we already have to make them feel safe and secure, then we can attract new businesses, new economic development, and new investors and developers. And I think we're on our way to do that by commending you for having this type of show and many more like this to come.
Good. Well, I appreciate both of you being here And you know, it really comes down to taking care of those that's in our own community. And once again, the Indian community is a part of this community. I think
right.
that's the point to really make, is that you're a part of this community, you know, and that's critical for all of us because of the service that you give. And so, and once again, thanks to both of you gentlemen for being here. To our viewers, thank you so much for being with us for this evening. And until the next time, remember to count it all joy.